I made a compilation of video clips of how some Chicago drivers behave while they're driving in Chicago. This first clip has this Volkswagen driver passing folks heading north on Archer using the southbound lanes. This particular segment is around 35th and Archer. The driver goes into the turning lane and continues straight, passing vehicles to the left using the southbound Archer lanes, and continues on their way, apparently in such a hurry that they feel more important than the rest of the drivers on the road that day. This white van here on Lakeshore Drive feels apparently also more important than the rest of the traffic waiting, and jumps the curb to go to Inner Lakeshore Drive and speeds up to that red light ahead. I assume that there is a no turn on red at the red light unless they were trying to go straight. However, if they were trying to go straight, or even if they're trying to turn there, they get stuck and are not able to proceed. The vehicle waiting patiently at the light, I believe, will end up getting a green light before them and be able to turn right onto whatever street that was. And while that white van will now be stuck waiting. Apparently, being impatient isn't always going to pay off for you, but that's the way it seems a lot of people are here in Chicago with the way they drive. This is back on Archer, turning onto Artesian Drive, or Artesian Road, which is mostly residential. There's a speed bump in the middle of this particular block of Artesian, and I slow down for it. The white vehicle behind me also will slow down for it. The gray Hyundai behind that, however, will not slow down for the speed bump. They will bypass the speed bump to the left of it and then proceed past me to my left, and also trying to pass the Honda on its left. However, the traffic on Pershing there stops them, and the Honda proceeds ahead of them and doesn't really let them get by, which I thought was pretty cool. So, again, impatient drivers feeling apparently more important than the rest of the traffic on the road. This happened on Wilson Avenue in uptown Chicago. There was a oncoming ambulance. I pulled over and the car ahead of me pulled over, and this driver did not pull over and did not yield so much to the ambulance till it was very last second. Again, on Wilson, heading towards Lakeshore Drive, this white vehicle will come up beside me to do a typical Chicago thing of passing on the curbside of the road. Typically, they speed off ahead. This one did not speed up so much. They slowly got by me. I knew it was happening, so I more or less let it happen. Kindly, they didn't run over the pedestrians as they got onto the ramp onto Lakeshore, and they did speed up a bit here and got a fair distance ahead of me. However, I will end up catching up to them and passing them because for whatever reason they chose to not continue to drive fast on Lakeshore Drive. They slowed down, got stuck behind a car, and remained there while I passed them. So not sure what the hurry was to get on the ramp ahead of me by passing on the curb lane, but that's what they do. So here I am passing him again, whoever this driver is, he, she, they, as I drive on by, and they don't seem to be making any intentions on getting into the turning lane. Once again on Lakeshore Drive, I will be passed by a driver on the curb lane. This happens a lot in this particular spot, and they have to merge over because there's actually not a driving lane anymore at that point of the park. And the car behind them also looked like they tried to get by me, but I didn't end up allowing it to happen or something, so they got behind me. This is back on Pershing, and it's at Pershing and Western. There's a lane, a left lane meant to turn on the Western that people typically end up using to get one car ahead, I guess, on Pershing to head westbound and get there that one car length ahead quicker, I guess. Um, You see that car behind the truck there's kind of trying to do the same thing, but the truck was too big for them to pass, so it didn't happen. This was on 55 ramp going towards Lakeshore. There was some construction ahead. We're stopped waiting for it. Not this red car. This red car zooms on by on the shoulder of the road with all the debris and stuff and keeps on going while we're all waiting for the merge to happen. And this taxi jumps the curb at the ramp at 55 and Damon to get around all the traffic because, again, they're more important than everyone else, right? This is on Archer. As the light turns green, I have two cars approach from behind and do like a split around me as they decide that they are in a hurry and need to get wherever they're going before they can wait to get around me one at a time. So there they go, splitting by me on their way down Archer where there's a red light camera. This vehicle is merging from the middle lanes of Lakeshore Drive all the way to the right to turn at the next block. And I guess this one's kind of being a little nitpicky. They're just stopping other people's progress so that they can get to that right lane and turn. And good for them because they were able to make their turn there. So, yeah, I suppose I was being nitpicky on that one. Oh well.